Hey guys, it's Suresh. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning into another video with me today. Today I have an exciting review from an independent doll designer in the UK named Navdeep Sikand. He is the creator of the beautiful ANOUK doll, who I have actually had on my channel before about two and a half years ago. I first discovered her back then, and Navdeep was so sweet to send me 2 dolls at the time. But before we proceed, I do have to remind you guys that today's video is not intended for children. This video is intended for adult doll collectors. All my content that I create is created for adult doll collectors. So please do abide by those rules, and we can all continue making fun content for you guys to enjoy here on YouTube. So a big thank you to Navdeep Sikand, who is the amazing designer behind ANOUK, and he is such a sweetheart. We have been chatting over the past couple of years since I first reviewed ANOUK on my channel and giving me updates about what he's up to, etc, etc. This is a doll from the Series 4 collection that he debuted a few months ago. Please do take a look down below in my description box, and I will have some links as to where you guys can order yourself an ANOUK. I've said this before, and I will continue to say it again. There are many of us who are looking for independent doll artists that we can all attain and afford. You know, there are amazing BJD doll artists out there, but the dolls are thousands of dollars. And you know, I completely understand that price tag, but it's not always attainable to many of us. So I love dolls like ANOUK that are vinyl dolls. They are truly handmade, and what you're paying for the doll goes back to the artist and the people that he works with to create these dolls, right? I said this recently when I took a look at Miko dolls as well. So I'm a big proponent of trying to bring more of a spotlight to these amazing independent doll artists. So if you are a doll lover, doll collector, and you are looking for the next frontier, you know, above and beyond Barbie and Integrity Toys even, this is where it's at. So without further ado, let's get into this beauty and check her out, shall we? So ANOUK is actually modeled after Caprice dolls, and when I spoke to Navdeep a couple of years ago about her, he told me that she is named after one of his favorite French actresses. And again, I will put a link down below where you guys can read more about ANOUK, but she is a really beautiful doll. She smells like vanilla. Navdeep happens to also be a huge vintage doll lover, and ANOUK is designed in the original style of 60s doll making, or I guess in the vintage way of doll making, shall we say. She is alive in the 60s, that's where she's from, and all the dolls that he creates have this really beautiful 60s vibe to them. There are also these beautiful little booklets that he does. This one is a nice juicy one. We'll take a look at that in just a second, and you can see here even the imagery that he does is very 60s inspired. So if you didn't know who ANOUK was and you stumbled upon her at a store somewhere or at a collection somewhere, you would probably legit think that she's straight out of the 60s. So she comes in this really beautiful tube-like packaging. When she was shipped to me, both this time and a couple of years ago, she came in cardboard circular mailers. And the awesome thing about this is that you can actually display her in this little clear tube. So I love that. Behind me, actually, I have one of my original ANOUK dolls, and she still is kept in her beautiful packaging. And just like Miko dolls, it's an amazing way to keep them displayed, dust-free, etc, etc. And then if you look closely, you actually see that she's standing on top of a black doll stand. So that is also included in the packaging, which I think is wonderful. She comes actually standing on her little doll stand, just like this. So that is beautiful. And then she has a little pouch of accessories as well. I see a beautiful little handbag in a gray kind of metallic-y silver fabric. And then I see what appears to be maybe a compact, like a makeup compact. So that's really cute. ANOUK does have a little clear headband around her head. So we're gonna go ahead and get rid of that. And her hair is really soft. It's very nice quality, There is not any product in it, so it does feel very soft indeed. I'm totally in love with this ensemble. When I saw the whole lineup, I was like immediately drawn to the sparkles, of course. Let's take a look at this cute little booklet here. It's like very juicy. Oh my goodness, adorable. So on the left-hand side, we see everything written in French, or the copy all written in French. And then on the right-hand side, we see the copy written in English. Lots and lots of visuals of her from all the collections over the years. And then here on the right-hand side, we see Our Babe, number 0067, Dinner for Two. Oh, what a cute name. Dinner for Two. I love that. I was wondering what her name was, so there we go. Dinner for Two. What I love about what Navdeep does is the variety. There's always such a fantastic variety, not only of like complexions and hair colors, but also just of like different personalities. Do you know what I mean? And it's all the same girl, but also not. So I know that Navdeep is also a big Barbie collector. He has told me that before, and specifically vintage Barbie. So I love that he has continued to keep that kind of woven into his dolls, and I just adore that. So this is so cute. Here is Dinner for Two Anouk, fully dressed in all of her little beautiful accessories. Well, her little handbag, at least, that is. She is so sparkly and so beautiful. She's ready for dinner. Her face is glorious in true Anouk fashion, bright blue eyeshadow, and she is ready, honey. Her hair is beautiful. It's sort of like a muted blonde, and she of course smells delicious as well. She has a beautiful purple ascot on, or a scarf tied around her neck, I guess, and a beautiful purple micro sequined top here. The whole thing is covered with these glittery, multifaceted, purplish, lavendery sequins. Gorgeous, like almost like a deep plum, actually. So pretty. I love this color combination of her outfit with her skin and hair is really beautiful. And that with the white pants, magical. Love this big kind of bell-bottomy like look. She is, of course, from the 60s, so she does have a bit of a mod feel as well. There are her sweet little hands. Here she is from the back. She has lots and lots of hair, by the way. Just a really nice heft of hair. Here is her outfit from the back. Definitely has a very simple and handmade feel to it, but sophisticated in its delivery, so I do enjoy that. And again, I'm gonna keep saying this, but I wish you guys could smell her because she smells absolutely scrumptious. Here are her little shoes. Let me just pull up her pant leg here so you can see them. They are a white little kitten heel pump. Adorbs. There's like a little vent in the front. And when we take the shoes off, we see her sweet little feet. They are painted as well, along with her fingernails, so that is a nice little touch. If you are into vintage repros, if you are into vintage feeling dolls and you love 60s fashion, this is definitely a doll to add to your collection. I highly recommend her. So her stand base is wood, and then the cradle portion here is in metal, and then there is a little plastic tube, a little clear plastic tube that is nestled into the seat portion, and that I believe is to keep the doll from getting scratched or damaged from the metal. So that's a nice little cushion there. And then at the base of the doll stand, we see her logo, Anouk Paris. When I was speaking with Navdeep about his inspiration and why she's French, etc., it sounds a lot like it's a lot of different inspiration points from all throughout his life. The name comes from one of his favorite French actresses. The genre comes from his love of previous fashion dolls within that era. He specifically has mentioned Caprice to me before. Yeah, I think it's awesome. And I think, you know, seeing Nav do this beautiful doll, it gives all of us inspiration to truly like follow our passions and follow our dreams, right? And I also remember him saying that Anouk is actually still handmade in the same way that they made vintage dolls back in the day. She's made in Spain actually, and if you watch my other video that I did of her, I go into more detail about the specifics of how she's made, which is fascinating. So definitely go check that video out. Let's go ahead and take her little ensemble apart here so that we can get a better look. I am absolutely loving this top. Oh, the shoes are interesting sounding. They almost sound like they could be 3D printed. When we turn her to the back here, we see a couple of hook and eye closures, 3 hooks, and then a little facing as well. Oh, her little tag, so chic, so chic. Hair definitely, I think, could use a little touch of product. So I think what I will do is most likely use a little bit of moisturizer and smooth it through her hair. You guys know that's like my favorite thing to do. Oh, look at the little scarf. Adorable. Oh, that is gorge. And her pants undo the same way. Sweet, sweet. Oh, cute. And she has little undies on. I remember the previous dolls did as well. Here is beautiful little Anouk in the buff so that you guys can get a better look at her physique. Semi-buff, I guess. She does have her little underpants on and her little scarf. I wanted you to see it on her because it appears to be just a simple little swatch of fabric. I kind of think it's more beautiful on the form. But the fabric itself is gorge. It's like a beautiful gold speckled fabric here. It feels like it could be like a crepe. Let's go ahead and get a better look at her face here. So, so cute. She has her signature big eyes and signature bright blue eyeshadow with her pencil thin brows, her thick black eyeliner sweeping all the way across her eyes. She does have eyes that are glancing over to the right, and then a cutie little nose with little red nostrils drawn in and pink lips as well. Her hair is lovely. It's very thick, it's very lush. It is very shiny and very glossy, so I love that. There is a part here right over her right eye, and that is kind of what's giving shape here to the whole hairdo. And when we lift up the hair, we see the back of her head there, and you can see where the rooting lines of the hair are. It doesn't come down all the way, but it really doesn't need to because she has a lot of hair. She does not have any jewelry or any piercings or anything like that. But if you wanted to pierce her, it would actually be relatively easy. Her head is quite squishable. Her whole body actually feels pretty squishy, so it's a very nice vinyl that he uses here for the dolls, and the hands are pliable, the body is pliable, the legs are pliable. Her joints do not move, unfortunately, but I think perhaps that's just kind of the charm of her. I remember him saying that she is intentionally very naive in her delivery. So I think that is part and parcel of that, right? Her manicure is really adorable. I remember my previous dolls had little manicures as well. And then she also has itty bitty little pedicure there on her teeny tiny feet. Her little undies are sweet. They're very true to what we perhaps would have seen in this time frame. They are quite large in that they cover a very modest area of her girly bits here. So that's that. There is a little elastic in her waistband, and it can come off relatively easily just like so. She does have the little impression of a clavicle here as well, just like that. There is her little bust and her tiny little waist. She too has a very sculpted figure to her so that when she is in clothes, she looks lovely and presentable. There she is in her entirety, and then let me show you a full back view as well. Ta-da, there we go. And yeah, she really is just lovely. Like, you can definitely feel the love and attention to detail that went into her when you're holding her. And she feels quite substantial too. Like, She does not feel super loosey-goosey and lightweight. She feels solid. She feels very good in the hand when you're holding her. So yeah, I mean, I absolutely love that. And if you are someone who loves that good solid feeling of doll, this is it. Here is Anouk's beautiful little micro sequined top. It almost is like a mini dress, but not really. It's kind of has this beautiful tunic shape to it with a little bit of a bell shape here. Specifically at the waist, so it kind of bells out just like so. The fabric is beautiful. I am obsessed with these itty bitty little sequins. They are, of course, all sewn and glued onto the fabric. Actually, not glued, sewn on, so love that. And then when we turn it around and look inside, we see the whole thing is lined in black lining fabric. Gorgissimo, just like that. There is her sweet little Anouk tag with a very Parisian vintage look to it. The closures are on the left side of the garment here. 3 old-fashioned black hooks, just like that. And then on this side, we see the little thread loops corresponding with that, along with a little black facing. Yeah, so quality is lovely. Now, it's not as like pristinely neat as, for example, an integrity piece is. I think those factories are just so used to kind of cranking out all their little itty bitty pieces. This definitely has more of a handmade feel and handmade charm to it, but I think that's really part and parcel of the Anouk experience, you know? Here are Anouk's sweet little white pants. They really are almost like a nice trouser, to be honest. There is the bell-bottom flare there that we love, and she has a nice little bit of shape here through the hips as well. You can definitely see that here on the pants. It's a really beautiful piece. It feels very, very soft. It feels almost like a charmeuse fabric, which I love and is very kind of unexpected for a pant, but it really works here. There's a separate waistband here as well, which I love. There are no pockets or anything like that, or any sort of pleat detail. It's just a nice crisp finish all the way through. It is stitched here in the center, so they are made in the fashion of how a pant truly would be, in that these are 2 separate panels coming together. And then here in the back, we see the closures. We see 2 silver hooks here, and then 2 thread loops corresponding to that on the opposite side. And then we see a little facing here as well. And the pants are actually lined. Oh, sweet. And it's lined in like a very light kind of a tricot mesh fabric. Okay, love that. Yeah, it feels like a tricot actually. Beautiful. So that's what's giving it a little bit of body here. It's almost like a springback, kind of a springy body, and that would explain why. It's because this fabric here is a little bit thicker than like a traditional tricot, so it might actually be almost like a netting. That's what's giving it the body and the bounce. There is her little tag on her pants. Love that. The construction on these are actually quite lovely. Look how beautifully that waistband is done. Very, very nicely, both on the inside and the outside. The craftsmanship on the outside of the piece is really beautiful. Look at that hem. Yes, yes, yes. Gorgeous. Like, these are not easy to make at all. I have always despised making pants, both on humans and on dolls, so I definitely appreciate this, and I think it's gorgeous. Here is her sweet little evening clutch. This actually reminds me a lot of Silken Flame Porcelain Barbie's purse, very similar in its silhouette and in its design. We see a little silver bead here. That is what the opening little loop goes around, just like that. There is a flap coming down the top. We open it up, and there we go. The whole thing is lined very, very beautifully. It appears to be a very similar, actually no, I thought it would have been the same fabric as the pants, but it's not. It's like a white kind of a poly lining blend fabric there. And then I did put her little compact on the inside because it's so cute, and I thought it would fit really nicely in there. Let me go ahead and take it out for you. There we go. The outside fabric is like a really pretty metallic silver fabric. It has a nice little pattern to it. It is really, really pretty, and I like the size of it. I like that it's not too itty bitty, but that too has a very sweet handmade feel to it. It is made very beautifully. So kudos to whomever sewed these, I tell you what. Here are her little white shoes. I want to say that these are probably 3D printed because they sound kind of like they would be, but all the same, they are super cool if they are. I like this silhouette of shoe for what it is. Again, it's very reminiscent of the era. It's a very low heel, has a little vent there in the front. It's a little bit big for her foot. Let me grab her foot so you can see it on. In comparison, it's definitely like a little bit bigger, but again, I think that's just kind of part and parcel of the charm of these dolls. There you go. You can see them on her feet, and there is the underside of them. They're not necessarily like super, super neat. That's why I feel like they could also be printed, because though we see details here, I can almost see a little bit of like what might have been the scraping off of excess plastic or something like that. But all the same, they are a nice little touch, and we always love a sweet little shoe. So there we go. And then here is her sweet little compact. There is a really beautiful little etching detail there on the front, what appears to be perhaps flowers, adorbs. And then on the other side, it is blank. And then the whole thing is hinged actually right there. So you can open it up as you would with your makeup compacts. Let me see how I can do this. There we go. Ta-da! And then there is a little white sponge there, and then a little mirror on one side, and the little indication of a makeup product on the other side. How cute is that, huh? This feels like it could be metal, but I want to say that it's probably plastic. Yeah, I think it might be plastic, but all the same, it looks like a legit vintage metal compact, so I love that. So there we have it, guys. This is Dinner for Two Anouk from the new Wave 4 or Series 4 collection. A big thank you again to Navdeep Sikand for sending her to me. If you are into vintage repros or vintage dolls in general, or vintage feeling dolls in general, and you're looking for kind of the next frontier of collector dolls, here you go, right here. Be sure to check down below in my description box for a link to where you can connect with Navdeep and check out Anouk for yourself. Move quickly though, because she sells out very, very fast. She's been around for a couple of years now, and she has quite the fan club. So I am very, very honored to add her to my collection, and I'm looking forward to many years of this sweet vanilla scent lingering around my doll cases. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope that you learned something. Please be sure to give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you hit that little bell icon after you subscribe. You'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Follow me on Instagram. I'm at SureshNY. That's generally where I post all my updates. Wherever you guys are in the world, I hope you're having a fantastic day. Big hugs and kisses from me and Anouk here in Seattle. Mwah! And I'll see you guys again next time for another video, okay? Bye!